to my channel and welcome back to a really exciting video. I'm so excited to be testing this palette. I am, you can see it by the title. I always like want to build it up and be exciting, but you also have to put it in the title so people click on the video, you know. We are testing the Too Faced Gingerbread palette. I don't know how I got this. I was on Debenhams one day and it was in stock. I added it to my basket and then I shut the window because I was like, no, it's £39, you don't need it. Looked the next day, it had left my basket, it was out of stock. I was like, oh, kind of want that more now that I can't have it. Looked the next day, it was still out of stock, and I was like angry at myself that I didn't buy it previously. And then like one night at like 12 PM, I was slipping off to bed, but I just looked on Debenhams and it was in stock. So I bought it, and now it seems like gold dust, like no one can get it in the UK. So I got it and I'm very happy I did. So as usual, what I'm going to do with my tutorials is I'm going to swatch the whole palette. Mine looks already quite bunged up because I've used it now. I don't really treat my palettes with a lot of love once I dip into them. Like, I don't treat them too preciously. I like to actually use them. So it looks a bit bunged up, but what I'm going to do is jump into swatches. I'll show you the palette up close, and then we'll jump into doing this eye look. I really like how it came out. It's just very me, isn't it? Kind of warm pinks and purples, bit of glitter, lashes, you know. So yeah, I don't know what else there is to say. I'll read what it says on the back. Add a little spice to your life with this deliciously sweet gingerbread palette of 18 multi-finish, warm and toasty shadows that glide on with buttery smoothness for playful pops of colour that smell like fresh baked gingerbread. Now, I don't know if I don't know what gingerbread smells like, but to me it just smells like nice cake. It's not like outrageously gingerbready, but it's pleasant, it's very pleasant. So please subscribe if you haven't already. I would really love to have you back. Like this video if you did enjoy it. And yeah, let's jump into swatching and testing the Too Faced Gingerbread palette. So as always, I'm going to swatch down this side of my arm and we're going to jump in. So the first shade is called Powdered Sugar. This is not really going to show up on my skin tone. I used this on top of my concealer to set it for this look. So yeah, you can't really see that, but that is the first shade. The second shade is Frostbite Me. Now this is a weird shade. I really wanted the palette like for this shade and a few others. And it's like, I don't know, it's quite chunky, and when you dip your brush in, it really flakes off. But it's very pretty. I just found it quite hard to use. Like, I had to use glitter glue with it, first of all, on my inner corners. But it is really pretty, but it's not as pigmented as I hoped it was going to be, and it's easy to use. The next shade is Sugar Daddy, which is a really light pastel pink. It's a really pretty shade. I didn't actually use that today, but I can imagine that all over the lid would be so, so pretty. Then we've got another metallic, which is called Spiced Eggnog. This is a kind of lightish champagne gold. I've used that on my eyes today. Then we've got the shade Looky at My Cookie, which is a deeper, kind of more salmony pink. Really pretty, also used that. Then we've got Figgy Pudding, which is quite a bright, really pigmented matte purple. I really, really like that shade. I used that a lot today as well. Then a shade I pretty much bought a palette for, which is called Gumdrop, which is a really lovely bright pink. It doesn't swatch that well. I mean, it swatches okay, but it's really pigmented on a brush. And then we've got the shade Spice Is Nice. I didn't use this shade today, but it is really, really pretty. Kind of modern renaissance-y, those two colours together, but actually they're very different in terms of like tone when they're on the eye. Then we've got a shade I used a lot today, which is like a duochrome bright pink to gold. Don't know if that's picking up. This is called Hot Toddy, and it is one of the most beautiful eyeshadows I have ever seen. And then we've got the shade Gingerbread, which is just a really nice kind of matte brown transition shade. Then we have Oh Snap, which is like a matte with sparkle in it. Not my favourite kind of like style of eyeshadow. Doesn't swatch that well. I didn't use that on my eyes, but I imagine it'd be better on the eyes than it swatches. They usually are. And then we've got Reindeer Paw, which is the really deep colour in the palette, which is like a brown purple. It's definitely a brown, but it's definitely purple at the same time. So the next shade is called Warm and Toasty, which is a really, really, really pretty gold. Then we've got the shade Bake It Till You Make It, which is another really, really pretty kind of reddy copper metallic. Not super, like neither of these are very unique, but they're very pretty. Then a really nice transition shade, Gingerbread Latte. Ruined that swatch, didn't I? Gingerbread Latte, which is nice, just kind of plain brown. Then we've got the shade Oh Burn, which is another metallic. It's really pretty. I'm really bad at swatching with my left hand. Then our last two shades are Spice of Life, which is a really gorgeous, gorgeous green gold. If you've wanted the Dose of Colours Desi Perkins palette for that green gold shade called Dirty Money, this is really, really similar. And then we've got Spiced Rum, which is a bit of a boring colour for me. It's like a browny purple, quite flat metallic. It's not that exciting. But that is the final swatches. So I don't believe in swatches in terms of how a shadow will then apply on the eye. So if you think some of them didn't look that good, then I wouldn't worry about that, because it doesn't mean that the palette's going to perform badly on the eye, and I don't think it did perform badly. I thought it performed really nicely actually. The only thing with Too Faced is I do find some of their shadows can be really lackluster. So a couple of the shades in this palette either don't appeal to me, or I just think they're kind of just wasted space. Shades like Spiced Rum, that bottom one just here, is so boring. And also Oh Snap, like I don't like matte shades that just have a bit of sparkle in them, because I just feel it defeats the purpose of a matte shade. But I'm really happy with the rest of them, really happy with this palette. I think it's gorgeous, and yeah, I mean, just very happy with this palette. So if you want to see my like impressions as I apply the shadows to my eyes, what I think of them, and also just see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. And yeah, let's dive into it. First shade I'm gonna grab is the shade Reindeer Pulse, which is this really dark one down here. It's like a dark purple brown, and I'm gonna start popping that through my crease. My voice seems to be going. So I found this one really pigmented, ever so slightly patchy, but like easy to fix. Like you can probably see that. But it's just a really good deep brown purple shade that's very necessary to add depth. My voice is really going, I don't know why. I'm taking a clean-ish brush. By cleanish, I mean I just like rubbed it quite hard on my towel beside me. I'm just gonna blend that out a pinch. Sorry, that first brush was my Morphe M514. Now I'm going in with my Zoeva 227. I'm gonna pick up Figgy Pudding, this purple one down here, and I'm gonna blend that kind of over the top of that first shade and blend it out a bit more. I must admit, I didn't buy this palette for the purples. Like I bought it for that pink and the orange and some of the sparkly colours, but I really like the purples in this palette. I think they're really nice. I'm gonna go in now with Gumdrop. I think online this looked really similar to the Modern Renaissance, but actually in person it is really different, and this pink's a lot more of a like vibrant bright pink than Love Letter from Modern Renaissance. You can probably see it's very pigmented. This is just on the same brush. Sweep that underneath as well. And you can see we've got quite a harsh line, that's okay. I'm going to go back in with that clean-ish brush. Kind of wiggle it around the edges. So then I'm taking Zoeva 221. I'm going to dip into the shade Looky, I thought I read that wrong, Looky at My Cookie, which is a kind of mustardy, salmony pink. It's actually more pigmented than I thought it was going to be. You can probably see it. I'm just sweeping that round. That's really nice colour for blending it into my skin. I really like that shade. It just blends everything so beautifully. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go back in with a little bit more figgy pudding. Make sure my crease is nice and deep. This brush, I could do a whole eye look with this brush, the 227 by Zoeva. It's just the perfect shape. And then I'm just going to pick up a 228 Luxe crease and dip into Gumdrop, because I want this to be really kind of blended out seamlessly. I'm not trying to kind of pack on the colour, more just blend it gently. And this brush is good for that. So far all the shades have been really easy to blend, really pigmented. I've always thought Too Faced shadows were a bit lackluster, but I mean this is hitting my buttons. I'm going to go back in with Reindeer Paws, that first shade we used. And I'm going to pat that on my outer corner. So we are just doing quite a basic cut crease. I'm going to go over it though with figgy pudding, just to keep it really nice and purple toned, but obviously keeping the depth. And then I'll go in with my original brush and just make sure it's blended into the crease where I've just packed it on and not got a harsh line. I wanted to do like a what's it called, like a proper halo eye, but today I'm just really bad at eye makeup. You know, we just get those days and you're like, wow, nothing's blending, nothing looks nice, I don't like anything. That's what I'm having for some reason. But this is coming together. I do find cut creases now to be pretty easy to do. It doesn't matter that this inner corner is not that blended. I'm not spending that much time there because I'm going to cover all of that up anyway. So I'm just going to cut my crease really quickly using my Meron concealer wheel. I did this pretty in-depth in my Soph Does Nails tutorial. I'll link it because I'm just going to skip through this and pop it on because I've done it in-depth in another video. So I'll do this quickly and then we'll be back. So now my cut crease is on and kind of matching the other side, you know how it is. I'm going in, what's happening to me? I'm gonna go in with Gumdrop, the pink one. And I'm just gonna blend the edges of my cut crease. I like to do this first. Just think it helps me with life, basically. I just kind of blended that, and then we're gonna pick up one of the shades that I really wanted this palette for, the shade Hot Toddy, this one down here. I tried this dry initially on the other eye and I think it looked better when it was wet, so I'm taking my Primark primer water, just spraying the brush, and then I'm gonna pop this on. Can you see that colour? I feel like straight on it's not as impressive, but when it's like sideways and you just see it, oh, it's beautiful. Can you see it? I'll come back and blend that edge in a minute. Dry, it was fine. I just thought it could be better. So yeah, when I wet it, I felt it was just way better. And I'm gonna pick it up on my finger and just pat that on as well. Fingers usually get a really nice amount of pigment. Oh, that's lovely. And I'm picking up the shade Spiked Eggnog, this one just here. And picking that up on a small flat brush. I'm just gonna wet it. Straight off the bat, it is a metallic shade. I'm gonna start patting that on all over the front. Just a really pretty kind of light metallic gold. I'm just blending that into that. What shade is it called? Hot Toddy as well. Just a really pretty colour, isn't it? And then on my Morphe M506, I'm just going to pick up a bit of figgy pudding and just blend the edge where that gorgeous metallic shade. Oh, I love it. You not tell by how excited I am that I love it. I don't know why I'm like so... I think it's because I've had just such a trial this morning trying to make an eye look work. Lovely jubbly. And then I took the shade Frostbite Me on that same brush. However, we need a bit of glitter glue. So I'm just using a little bit of my NYX glitter glue. Popping just a pinch on the back of my hand. Same little flat brush, which by the way is a blank canvas E27. Is that not the perfect little brush? I'm popping that just on the kind of inner sixth. Picking up Frostbite Me. And just packing that on. Really hard colour to use. I feel like it promises so much in the pan, but it's just, it doesn't really, like, I don't know. I mean, it works lovely on that inner corner. I do like how it looks. It's just a hard formula. And then I know some of you don't like when I add other products to looks, but I just wanted to add that little bit more. And it is affordable. I'm using the Lottie London eye foil. This is in the shade Denied and it's a silver. And I just add that just on the inside of my cut crease. I just wanted it to be a bit more glittery. If you're wanting to recreate this look, you don't need to do this part. But that is how our eye is looking just now. So all I need to do is really throw on a wing and my lash. And what I'll do as well is I will finish off the rest of my face. I'm going to do like a full face of first impressions in a different video, because I don't want this video to be too long, so I've got a bunch of stuff here. So I will put on lash liner, finish off my face, we'll come back and do lower lash line, and then I'll give my final thoughts on the Gingerbread palette. But yeah, this is how it looks just now. Yeah, pretty happy with it, so we will come back soon and finish the under eye. I'm going to stop talking, bye. So for my under eyes, I'm keeping it really simple. I'm just going to go in with Reindeer Paws. Just on a fluffy brush, not a fluffy brush, a pencil brush. And I'm going to kind of connect that to the wing at the top. Take it about halfway. Like that. And then I'm going in with Hot Toddy, that gorgeous metallic shade. It's like duochrome, it's so nice. I'm just gonna wet it straight off the bath and put that from the inner corner and connect it to that dark shade. And then when I've kind of done that, I want to go back in with Reindeer Paws. Just make sure it's still nice and deep on this outer corner. Ooh, yes. And then inner corner, gonna grab Frostbite Me on wet. Pull that through the inner corner. It's a really pretty shade, it just has so much fallout. Like that. And then my lash line, my like inner waterline, I've used this NYX pencil. This is in the shade Live in Pastel. It's an lip liner. And I find that you need like 2 layers to make it like much more purple, so put this one on and then let it dry. And then once that's dry, I'll go with the second layer, and it just makes it more vibrant, like on that eye. Just gonna grab a pinch more of my Ofra glazed donut, just to brighten up that inner corner even more. Sorry, don't think I was using this in my full face first impressions. So I haven't mentioned that I've used this before, I have on my face, but now I'm just using it on my inner corner. Oh, look at that. And then a little lower lash mascara. We all done. So we have made it to the finish line with very poofy fake hair. Just never stays looking good. So yeah, we have made it to the finish line of testing the Gingerbread palette by Pofest. I really like how this look came out. I definitely think, like looking at it, I've done this kind of look before, like almost exactly. But I really like how the look came out. That hot toddy shade is just really touching my soul. I think the wing was quite necessary for this look. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it came out. What do you think? Do you like it? Are you tempted by this palette? The quality of the palette impressed me, the blendability impressed me, the pigmentation impressed me. I do think though with Too Faced and with their sparkly shades, you really need to wet your brush to actually get like the proper intensity out of them that you really want. I feel like without wetting them, they're not as pigmented. But the mattes are very pigmented. I really like them, the ones that I used. How many did I use? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 mattes and 3 shimmers. So I've given quite a few shades a test. Didn't use the orange that I kind of wanted the palette for as well, but we'll use that on another day. You know me, I'll do plenty of tutorials using this. I would recommend this palette 100%. Still don't really think it smells like gingerbread. Just smells nice, like cake. Yeah, really happy with this look, happy with this palette, happy I found it online in stock. So yeah, what do you think of this look? I don't know how to end this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I did film a full face first impression for the rest of my face, so that will come up after this video if you want to see that. Let me know what you think of this look, let me know what you think of this palette. Are you tempted to pick it up? I'll try and link it down below. I'll link it down below where I got it from, which is Debenhams online. If they have it in stock, just keep checking because it seems to come in like really small dribs and drabs. So yeah, I'm gonna go now and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you did, give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you on my next one, I hope. Bye.